Hello and welcome to Q Sports. I'm Mumutu Gachaga. Tonight on Q Sports, we're talking about Gambian footballers who played across Europe over the weekend. And also we'll be looking at some of them who've been playing in the African continent. Especially one of them is Lamin Jaju, whose Al Hilal were involved in a friendly against TP Mazembe. We'll be looking at that. Also Nawetan in Basse, and this Nawetan is sponsored by QCell. Well, some of the districts in Basse, the teams that played the semi-final. In one of the semi-final, the match never ended because of darkness. We will look at that story in detail. Also, in the same Basse, we'll be looking at volleyball. The Basse Volleyball League got underway, and in one of the games, it was the 3 Infantry Battalion who played against Sare Bojo Village. We'll also be looking at how that game panned out. All that on tonight's Q Sports. Welcome and thank you if you're just joining us. This is Q Sports and I'm Mumutu Gachaga. First, we're going to look at some of the Gambian performers in the European leagues, especially first in the Italian Serie A, where Hassan Cisse was involved. He played 45 minutes for Lecce in their 1-1 draw with Caseremo in the Italian Serie A league. And in the same Italian Serie A league, for Musa Barrow, he watched it at home when Bologna were being defeated by Inter Milan by 3-0. Juventus, rather. They played against Juventus and lost by 3-0. A roundup of that in this story. Hassan Cisse got involved in the second half and played 45 minutes for US Lecce in a 1-1 draw with US Cremonese on Sunday. Hassan won 5 duels with 56% pass success. Lamarana Jallo returns to training with his club Sporting CP after international duty with the Gambia under-23 side, who were knocked out by Burkina Faso last week. Yusuf Njai played 45 minutes in the second period and had 75% pass success, creating 2 chances on his return from injury for Ball Vista. Musa Barrow watched Bologna FC versus Juventus game from home. In his absence, his club was beaten 3-0 by the Old Ladies. Lamin Jaju pulled one back for Al Hilal when they faced TP Mazembe in a friendly. They lost by 3-1. Abu Kante hit the woodwork from a header that forced the opponent's goalkeeper to stretch in a 0-0 draw shared with Granada FC in the Spanish Segunda Division. Abdullah Sanyan dribbled past 3 defenders before his shot was finished up by Jordan Tell to give Grenoble Foot the lead in their 2-2 draw with Ossé Saint-Etienne on Saturday in the French second division. We're going to look at Nawetan football in Basse, the QCell-sponsored competition. It was a semi-final between Manjum FC, who played against Gambisara United. And in this semi-final, it will be very interesting that the 2 teams shared the points 1-1. But one of them was very late, and because of darkness, the committee decided that they are going to reschedule the game. And more in this report about the semi-final in Basse. A spectacular free kick from Mansour Sumbundu of Manjum FC was called into the roof of the net with beauty, the goalkeeper not having any chance to save the ball. It didn't take much long before Haji Traore leveled just 7 minutes in the second half, nodding in a brilliant header from a corner kick. There were jubilant scenes from both sets of supporters who came to cheer their team. Instead of extra time or penalty shootout to separate the 2 teams, the game was rescheduled to be played on Tuesday. The scorers for either side shared their stories.
match bi waaw dëgg match bi neex na métti na ndaxte équipe bu ñu tëjee bi mooy player yi mën a football ñoo fa nekk ñun tamit am na ñu mën a football mais match bi jeexagul des na penalty mais ba tey waxaguñ dara.
waaw gis nañ ne yow yaay goal scorer bi te foo ko score from a free kick noo mën ba def loolu ba score goal boobu.
waaw dëgg la man loolu dama koy jàng every time dama koy jàng su ma ñibbee sama coach bu ma yor loolu la may jàngal su ma tegee bool bi xam naa fu ma koy def su ma ko defee foofu bu jàllee rek danaa dugg fos nit mënu ci dara.
yow foog nga ne léegi match bi suñ ko répété ngeen ñëwaat ci benn terrain bi loo sentu si match bi.
waaw match bi dina neex ndaxte instant bi supporters yi nanguñu ñu dem free kick mooy penalties time bii nii moom lu ñu mën a def ñu déglu referee yi lu ñuy wax bu ñu waree jouer match bi dañuy ñëwaat ñu jouer waat ko dina gën a neexaat incha allah.
waaw si maybe lu ma laay mujjee laajte moom yow na nga gisee sport bi fii si wàllu fans yi si wàllu développement na nga gisee sport bi fii.
waaw alhamdulilah rabbil alamin li ñuy wax ndaxte luñ fi bàyyoon ak lu fi nekk léegi dafa wute léegi football bi fii mu ngi jëm ci kanam referee yi ñu ngi góorgóorlu.
To be honest, the match was interesting and difficult. Both teams performed very well. The match ended in a draw. We now await the referee and the committee's decision either to replay or to take penalty kicks. Always at the training ground, my trainers will train me on how to take free kicks. If I place the ball, I know exactly where to take it. If it penetrates the wall, no doubt nothing will stop that ball from going into the net.
Alhamdulillah. Allah nda war jage kininga gol ke ngada rondi kona nu hille.
I thank Allah for seeing us through. It was a difficult encounter against our opponents. I got the chance from a corner kick. With the help of God, I was able to convert it into a goal. I believe if the match is replayed with the support from the fans and with luck, we will surely qualify to the finals. Volleyball in Basse between 3 Infantry Battalion and Sare Bojo Village. Well, in this volleyball competition, it's the league in Basse because we also have regional volleyball, and it was a very interesting encounter, very close. In the first set, it was 25-15 against Sare Bojo, and in the second set, it was 25 points to 14, and this time again, it is the Army team, that is the 3 Infantry Battalion, who emerged as winners, because in the third set, it was almost one-way traffic. They were too dominant. Volleyball, as one of the emerging sports that registered remarkable success in the country and outside, is now spreading in parts of the Gambia. Basse Volleyball League got underway over the weekend, with 3 Infantry Battalion and Army team getting the better of Sare Bojo Village. The soldiers won the first set 25-15, while the second set too proved the dominance of the soldiers with a 25-14 score for the Army team. Reactions to the encounter in the post-game was positive. Lamin Ba, a player for the soldiers team, spoke about how his team were able to get victory.
I played for Basse Military Camp. The military camp have a volleyball team, but most of our players are aging. So right. This is it today. Now that
we have observed today being the start of the regional volleyball competition among 12 teams. Now, how have it been in relation to volleyball competition, particularly the beginning of this tournament?
As you can see, today we start this game, and I thank the organizing committee, the URR organizing committee, for organizing this to build a capacity between the young and the old people, and most particularly the military side, the civil servants, to have a cordial relationship between the civil population and the civil servants. As you can see, there are so many young players. URR also will be joining soon in the neck of competition. So it is a beginning which can able to help the young people to have a future, and URR also to select a better team for the competition coming in the...
What have you observed in relation to volleyball game itself, comparing it to, because the football have dominated the sports sphere?
If you can see, like in the Gambia, the past 3 years, volleyball have become popular. The beach volleyball in the national side, the under-20, the under-21, the main squad, they are doing well in their tournaments. So people are looking up to volleyball because it's a game which people neglected. But as you are seeing, the nation itself, the government is pumping money so that the volleyball can be on a better window game for others whom you know that they want to be professions in that end. So Basse is a team, they are forming a better team. As you can see, these young players, they can be players tomorrow at the national side. So the government is doing well to support the volleyball.
In relation to support, what do you have to say? Because we need to understand that the tournament is going on without support.
Yes, I believe the governor of the area, this area must pump money so that young people can benefit into sport. But this is something which you know that they should do it for us. This is why we select them to be there. They should try to help us to move ahead, because some might take it as a profession for life. So it is a skills education. You know, it will also develop the nation ahead. So if you have good players now, at the end you will build a very good team for the national team.
One of the Saro Bojo players said there needs to be a better understanding of the rules of volleyball in Basse.
Yeah, the team really played, both teams really play, but I think there are some still certain things that lacks at the committee, that is the referee, because most of the points that we are defeated is about line balls, out balls. So we, the corner judges, maybe they don't know the technicals that have involved on the line balls, and secondly, again, the game have changed to an extent that all the officials should be updated about those things, especially the last passing, throwing the ball with the fingers on the net, that is the last ball to dump it. People are saying it is foul. If they are standing to dump the ball, then it is a foul. But the shot taker, if the shot taker jump and dump the ball, that is a good ball. And these ones were not jumped. He is even throwing the ball. So it's a fast movement because the ball is traveling. So that was our issue with the technical area, with the referees and the committee. That is the issue. This is why they did it, because you look at the scores, is game 1, game 2. When they are picking, when we pick, they take. When we pick, they take. That was how the game ended, because all our games is forced to 2, forced to 2. We have to go game point, forced to 2. So it means...
What support do this tournament needs in order for you to continue supporting volleyball game in the Gambia and particularly the region?
Yes, I think all the regional stakeholders and the Gambia at large, the country, the Gambia Volleyball Federation, which we get some promise from the president of the federation, Baidu Diallo. He said he is going to support, but still, I think from the technical side and the updates on the new rules should be implemented in the urban area here, at the rural areas here, yes. For people from the urban area should come and join us at the rural area and train our technicals and technicians, our referees, the committees, and the people that are playing on the new techniques of the game. I think that will help, because if it is playing, people are playing and we are making the ball fly. We have get the grassroots or the foundation of the volleyball, how it is played. We just need some updates, and that's supposed to be done by the federation and the volleyball stakeholders in this country.
In the Basse Volleyball League, it was between Medical FC and one of the teams, is a very interesting name, Touchcast. Touchcast, well, if you understand Wolof, you will definitely know what that means. So let's see if they are good enough to be able to touch cars. First set of the second game between Medical, who won 2-0. Well, Medical were the winners in that one, so it seems that these Touchcast are not that very much strong as it depicts on their name. Well, more on that particular game as well in this report. Medical team versus Touchcast was an interesting but competitive encounter in which they needed a third set to settle matters between them. Medical won 2 sets, but they were all square against Touchcast in the set point 24-all. But later on, Touchcast eventually won that set by 25-23. However, Medical managed to scoop the important result by winning. Abdullah Jallo, player for Medical, and despite not having a full team, they were able to win.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, though we don't have full complete players, we were just having only 6 players due to delayed information from our team members, because I can remember I was just called around 5 in the afternoon to be noticed that there's going to be a game that is volleyball. Yeah, but yet still, due to the love that I have for the game, I said it is really good for me to be part of the team to play for them. Though it was a late information, I was not prepared for it. But thank God, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin, with that 6 players that we were having, we were able to win the game.
In relation to support to your ministry or your department, what do you have to tell them, particularly in relation to the tournament that is going on?
Okay, well, it's just that I have to go back to them and inform them about the tournament which is going on right now, because exercise also is part of health. Yeah, with physical exercise, you can gain your health. So I will just go back to them and ask them to give us the more support in order to participate for the subsequent games that are coming, though we have a good team.
Now, if you had to tell people about the volleyball game, because predominantly football dominated the sport, if you had to tell the people that are watching you, and particularly the ministry, what do you have to tell them?
Yeah, well, I have to tell them it's like they have to concentrate on volleyball also. It is not only football that is sport. So, but in the Gambia, we just concentrate on football. But thank God now, the Gambia volleyball team is going higher, because last time they went for a competition. I think they took second, with Algeria. So it's okay, Alhamdulillah.
Finally on Q Sports, let's look at the Manchester derby between Manchester United and Man City. Man City hosted at the Etihad Stadium and it was goals galore. 9 goals were scored, but Manchester City destroyed Manchester United in this derby. They won by 6-3. And very interesting game. 2 players with hat-tricks, Philip Foden and Erling Haaland, which is one of the best strikers in Europe at the moment. He scored a hat-trick consistently. This is his 3rd hat-trick in the Premier League, and 2 of them were very consistent. And now it's in the derby game against Manchester United. More details about the game. Manchester City's Erling Haaland became the first player to score 3 consecutive Premier League home hat-tricks as Manchester United were humiliated in the derby at the Etihad Stadium. Haaland's rampant start to the season continued as he made it 17 goals in 11 starts, a goal every 54 minutes since his move from Borussia Dortmund, while Philip Foden scored his first treble for City as they closed the gap on pace-setters Arsenal to 1 point. This was a brutal reality check for Manchester United after their recent improvement, as the reigning Premier League champions ran riot to illustrate the gulf in class between the teams. Well, that's it for Q Sports tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Join us again next week for more sports. Bye for now.